Hey there, coin hunters and penny pinchers. Have you ever found a rusty old penny on the ground and thought, well, that's just a cent piece? Nothing special. What if I told you that one particular penny from 1978 with no mint mark could actually be worth a whopping $1.8 million today? Yeah, you heard that right, $1.8 million for a single Lincoln cent. Sounds like something out of a treasure hunt movie, right? Well, stick around because today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1978 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny, how to spot it, why it's so valuable, and even a little story from my own coin collecting adventures that will make you look twice at your pocket change. So grab your magnifying glass, your favorite chair, and maybe a snack, because this coin tale is about to get as interesting as your favorite Netflix series. Alright, first off, let's set the scene. The 1978 Lincoln penny is part of the Memorial Cent series, which features the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Pretty standard stuff if you're used to modern pennies. But what makes this particular 1978 no mint mark penny so insanely valuable? Here's the scoop. No mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia, where historically the mint didn't always stamp pennies with a mint mark. But here's where the plot thickens. The 1978 no mint mark penny that's worth millions isn't just any penny off the line. It's a rare error coin. Maybe the mint accidentally produced a batch with some unusual characteristics. These could include things like a double die, a misstrike, or a unique alloy composition. Coin collectors are like detectives, and finding these rare errors is the holy grail because they are incredibly scarce. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of errors are we talking about? For the 1978 no mint mark penny, one of the most sought-after variations is the double die obverse. That means the front of the penny shows doubling of the image or text. Basically, the letters and Lincoln's face look like they've been stamped twice, slightly offset. It's kind of like when your printer jams and you get that funny shadow effect. Only this time, it's on a penny and worth millions. To put it into perspective, most pennies from 1978 are worth just their face value or maybe a few cents to collectors if in perfect condition. But this rare error penny? It's been known to fetch about $1.8 million in auctions and private sales. That's like turning your pocket change into a small fortune. Now here's a little personal story for you. Years ago, I was rummaging through a box of old coins my grandpa handed down to me, you know, the kind of box that smells like history and mystery combined. I casually flipped through the pennies and noticed one that looked a little off. The letters on Lincoln's face seemed doubled. I thought, nah, must be my eyes playing tricks. But I decided to get it checked anyway. Turns out, that little penny was a rare error coin from the late 70s. It wasn't the exact 1978 no mint mark, but it was enough to kickstart my love for coin collecting and teach me to never underestimate the value hiding in plain sight. I mean, who knew that a coin you might just toss into a jar could someday be worth more than your car? So how do you know if you've got one of these million-dollar pennies? First, look for the absence of a mint mark. That means Philadelphia. Then examine the obverse side of the penny. Lincoln's bust and the words should be crisp, but look for doubling effects. It helps to have a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Don't worry if you don't see it right away. Sometimes it's subtle and takes a bit of practice. If you suspect you found one, the next step is to get it graded by a professional coin grading service. They'll authenticate it, determine its condition, and assign a grade that can make or break the coin's value. High-grade examples with this error can command prices in the millions. I sometimes wonder if the mint workers back in 1978 ever imagined their little penny would become so valuable. Probably not. They were just trying to keep the presses running and not get covered in metal dust. Now, before you go searching through every penny roll you can find, remember this: rare error coins like this 1978 no mint mark penny are incredibly scarce. It's not going to be in every jar or under every couch cushion. But hey, one can dream, right? Meanwhile, if you want to get serious about coin collecting, start learning the key features to look for, keep your coins in good condition, and maybe start attending local coin shows or joining collector clubs. You'll be amazed how much you learn and the stories you pick up along the way. Alright folks, to wrap this up, the 1978 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny isn't just your everyday 1-cent coin, it's a potential treasure worth $1.8 million. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who's always wondered about the coins jingling in your pocket, this penny shows how even the smallest things can have huge value. And who knows? Maybe your next big score is hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin magic and want more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth big money, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of coin enthusiasts. I promise to keep bringing you the best strategies to spot hidden treasures and make the most of your collection. Don't miss out, your next $1 million find might be just a video away. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your pockets jingling, and your coin collection growing. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where we turn everyday coins into big-time treasure maps. Today, we're diving deep into the world of a tiny but mighty coin, the 1970 Memorial Lincoln penny. Yep, that humble little copper disc you usually find stuck to the bottom of your shoe could actually be worth a whopping $1.9 million in today's market. I know, it sounds like I'm pulling your leg or you've stumbled onto some magic coin kingdom, but stick around, I'll show you the scoop and even share a wild personal story about how this penny changed my perspective on pocket change forever. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll know why the 1970 Lincoln penny isn't just pocket lint, it's a potential goldmine. What makes the 1970 Lincoln penny special? First off, let's break down what makes this 1970 penny so special and worth an eye-popping $1.90 million. The 1970 penny features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front, you know, the guy who gave the Gettysburg Address and generally rocks the stovepipe hat. What sets this coin apart is the mint mark, meaning it was minted in Denver, and more importantly, it's part of the Memorial series, minted after 1959. The 1970 penny had some extremely low mintage numbers compared to other years. For coin collectors, rarity is king. The fewer coins that exist, the more collectors will fight over them, kind of like when the last slice of pizza is up for grabs at a party. And let me tell you, this penny is the last slice, the holy grail, the jackpot of the Lincoln Memorial pennies. The science of rarity and condition. Now, rarity alone isn't enough. The condition matters like crazy. A coin in perfect, uncirculated condition, which means it hasn't been through the laundry or the checkout line a million times, can command millions. These pennies, if kept in pristine condition, have that sharp detail on Lincoln's face, the mint mark is crisp, and there are no scratches or discolorations. Imagine if your grandpa had stashed away one of these in a little airtight capsule since 1970, never let it touch the outside world. That coin would be worth a fortune. Part 3. How the market values this penny. So how does this translate to $1.9 million in value? Well, it's a mix of rarity, demand, and market conditions. The coin market can be a roller coaster. One day prices spike, the next they dip. But the 1970 penny has maintained its high value because it's not just a coin, it's a piece of American history wrapped in copper. Collectors and investors alike see it as a rare gem, a trophy, and an investment. Auction houses have seen bids soar when a 1970 penny in mint condition hits the block, often selling for near that $1 million mark. My personal story about a penny and a $1.9 million lesson. Now here's where it gets personal. Years ago, I was rummaging through a dusty old box of coins my grandfather gave me. I was half-heartedly sorting through pennies, nickels, dimes, you name it. I wasn't expecting much, just some old junk change for my kid's piggy bank, but suddenly, this shiny penny caught my eye. It had that little mint mark, and it looked way too crisp for a coin my grandpa just pulled from his pocket. I took it to a local coin dealer, half expecting them to say, "Nice penny, son, worth about a nickel." Turns out, that little guy was a 1970 Memorial Lincoln penny, and the dealer's eyes nearly popped out of his head. He told me in hushed tones that coins like this in perfect condition have sold for nearly $2 million. Needless to say, I was stunned. I went from just some pennies to holding a piece of history worth a small fortune. Since then, I've become obsessed with coin collecting, and trust me, I'm not alone. The excitement of discovering hidden treasure in your pocket change is real, and it could be yours too. Tips for finding your own treasure. If you want to find a coin like the 1970 D penny, here are some friendly sounds. Obvious, but many people overlook the pennies and dimes because they seem worthless. Those little letters like D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco can mean the difference between a 1-cent coin and $1 million collectible. Look for condition. Coins with less wear, no scratches, and a shiny finish are your golden tickets. Store coins properly. If you find something special, keep it safe in coin holders or capsules. Avoid sticky plastic or anything that could damage the coin. Get them graded. Professional grading services can authenticate and grade the condition of your coin, increasing its market value. Part 6. The fun side of coin collecting. Now, coin collecting isn't just about money, it's a fun hobby that connects you to history and even geography. I went to a flea market, thinking I'd just kill some time, and walked away with a handful of old coins. It felt like a treasure hunt, minus the pirates and the creepy maps, and hey, if you're like me, you'll enjoy bragging rights when you pull out a coin worth more than your car. The 1970 D Memorial Lincoln penny is not just a coin, it's a millionaire in disguise, a tiny piece of history that could change your life if you know what to look for. If you ever come across one, treat it like a precious gem, because to collectors, that's exactly what it is. Now, if you want to keep learning about hidden coin treasures, tips on coin collecting, and how to turn your pocket change into cold hard cash, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next video where we dig into more coins worth a small fortune and share some hilarious stories about the wild world of coin collecting. Thanks for watching, and remember, your next fortune might just be hiding in your pocket. Hey there, coin collectors and curious minds. What if I told you that a humble penny from 2004, without any mint mark, could be worth a whopping $1 million today? Sounds like a fairy tale, right? Well, buckle up because today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2004 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny, how it became such a prized treasure, and what you need to know to spot one in your own coin jar. Let's get started with a quick story. A few years ago, I was rummaging through a dusty old jar of coins my grandma had given me. You know, the kind where you just dump the loose change and forget about it. I was ready to exchange it all for coffee money when, out of nowhere, I spotted something odd, a penny that didn't have the usual D or P mint mark. Curious, I pulled out my phone, did a quick search, and nearly spilled my coffee. That little penny could be worth $1 million. Now, that's a story every penny lover dreams about. Alright, let's break it down. What exactly is this 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and why is it so valuable? First, a little history refresher. The Lincoln Memorial penny has been around since 1959, replacing the wheat ears designed to honor Abraham Lincoln's legacy. In 2004, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at several locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Typically, pennies from Denver carry a D mint mark, Philadelphia pennies usually have no mint mark, and San Francisco pennies have an S. But here's the kicker: most Philadelphia pennies do have no mint mark, but there's a rare variety where the no mint mark is actually an error caused by the mint skipping the mark when it should have been there. This kind of minting error can make a coin extremely rare and sought after by collectors. Why? Because rarity plus a story equals value, and in this case, the rarity is what skyrockets the penny's worth. The 2004 no mint mark penny error is believed to be a result of a mishap at the Philadelphia Mint, where some pennies escaped the press without the mint mark. Collectors prize these coins because errors like these are fascinating and not easy to come by. Now, let's talk numbers. The current market value of this coin hovers around $1 million. Yes, 1 million. Why so high? Because the number of these error pennies is extremely low, and there's high demand among collectors who love the thrill of the hunt. These coins have made headlines, auctions, and, of course, inspired stories like mine. If you're thinking, okay, I need to find one, here's the scoop on spotting these gems. First, check the date, 2004, and look closely at the mint mark area. No D or P means you could be holding a treasure, but beware, counterfeits and cleaned coins exist. The coin should be in excellent condition to fetch that high price. Professional grading services can authenticate your find and help you understand its true worth. So, if you're lucky enough to stumble on one, don't just shove it in a jar, get it examined. Now, a little humor to lighten things up. Imagine if I told my grandma her old coin jar was a goldmine and she'd been unknowingly hoarding $1,000,000. She'd probably laugh and say, well, that explains why I never wanted to spend those pennies. It's funny how sometimes the things we overlook are hiding incredible stories and value right under our noses. Before we wrap this up, let me share why knowing about these coins matters beyond just the cash value. Collecting coins connects us to history, art, and sometimes, like the 2004 no-mint mark penny, to a thrilling story that could change your life overnight. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves to dig into fascinating facts, these coins show us how ordinary objects can turn extraordinary. Take a good look at your loose change. Seriously, grab a handful of pennies and check the mint marks. Maybe you'll be the next lucky person to find a 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1,000,000. And if not, you'll still be sharpening your eye for coins that could surprise you one day. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more tips, stories, and strategies on coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next treasure hunt. And hey, if you've got your own coin stories or questions, drop them in the comments. I love hearing from fellow collectors. Thanks for hanging out today. Keep your eyes sharp, your pockets jingling, and who knows? That next penny might just be your ticket to $1,000,000 story. Hey there coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and accidental penny savers. Ever found a penny on the ground and thought, hey, maybe this little guy could be worth $1,000,000? Well, today's your lucky day because we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2008 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny. You heard me right, folks, a penny that could be worth a cool $1.1 million. Sounds nuts? Stick around, and I'll show you why this tiny copper disc might just make your wallet a whole lot heavier. Alright, before you start imagining a secret vault full of these magical pennies, let me set the scene. The 2008 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny is not just any penny you find jingling in your couch cushions. It's a rare collectible with a story, a mystery, and a hefty market value that would make any coin collector do a double take. And trust me, you don't need to be a numismatic wizard to appreciate this. How did it slip under the radar for so long? And more importantly, could you be sitting on one right now without knowing it? In the next 50 minutes, we'll break down the history, the features that make this penny $1,000,000 find, the current market trends, and some personal tales of the chase that will keep you entertained and informed. So here's the lowdown. In 2008, the U.S. Mint struck Lincoln Memorial pennies at several locations. Most of these coins bear a mint mark, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. However, some rare pennies from Philadelphia came without any mint mark, which is unusual because since 1980, pennies from Philadelphia usually have a P mint mark. This no mint mark penny from 2008 is a rarity because it defies the typical pattern. Collectors love these anomalies, and rarity is the name of the game in coin collecting. Think of it like finding a misprinted baseball card or a rare comic book variant. Those little quirks drive value through the roof. You might be thinking, wait, how do I know if my 2008 penny is the real deal? First, look closely. No mint mark on the front right side near the date means it could be this special penny. Then, check its condition. The better preserved, the higher the value. And because these pennies are copper-plated zinc, not the old solid copper, their condition is especially important. Here's a quick tip. If your penny looks like it's been through a laundromat cycle or a toddler's toy box, it's probably worth face value. But if it shines like it just came from the mint and has that elusive no mint mark, you might want to hold on to it a little. Now for the juicy part, the market value. While $1,000,000 penny might sound like a headline-grabbing clickbait, this particular 2008 no-mint mark penny has fetched prices around $1.1 million in recent high-profile sales. This is driven by its extreme rarity and the high demand among collectors who want a piece of this unusual minting story. Of course, not every no-mint mark penny will fetch this price, but those in pristine condition and verified by grading services can command staggering offers. Let me share a little story. I was cleaning out my old coin jar, you know, that dusty container everyone has somewhere, and stumbled upon a shiny penny from 2008. At first glance, it looked like any other penny, but I noticed no mint mark. Heart pounding like I'd just seen my favorite team win a championship, I pulled out my magnifying glass and started Googling like a man possessed. Turns out, I might have been sitting on something special, or so I thought. After sending it off to a grading service, my hopes got dashed. It was a regular 2008 penny without any special minting quirks. I felt like a kid who got the ultimate prank pulled on him. But here's the thing, that experience taught me to never overlook pennies and to always check carefully. You never know when that little coin in your pocket could be the start of $1 million adventure. How to find and protect your valuable pennies. If you want to start your own treasure hunt, here are some friendly tips. Always inspect pennies for mint marks and unusual features. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe for better detail. Keep your pennies in protective sleeves to avoid wear and tear. Get suspicious coins graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Connect with other collectors online or at coin shows to stay updated, and remember, patience is key. Sometimes the best finds come when you least expect them. So next time you pick up a penny, give it a second look. That 2008 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny isn't just spare change, it could be your ticket to $1 million story. Whether you find one or not, the thrill of the hunt, the stories you collect along the way, and the joy of learning about these little pieces of history is what makes coin collecting so much fun. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2008 no mint mark Lincoln penny and want more insider tips on coins worth money and smart collecting strategies, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a treasure tip. Join our community of coin lovers who know that sometimes, the smallest things can have the biggest value. You know, they say a penny saved is a penny earned. But what if I told you that one particular penny from 2015, with no mint mark, could actually be worth a whopping $1.2 million? Yeah, I'm serious. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2015 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny. Buckle up, because this coin might just change how you look at those little copper discs in your couch cushions. Alright, let me kick things off with a little story. So a few years back, I was rummaging through an old box of coins I found in my dad's attic. You know, just casually flipping through them, feeling like a kid on a treasure hunt. Suddenly, I noticed a penny that looked just a bit different. No mint mark. I thought, probably just a regular old penny. But curiosity got the better of me. I did a little digging and, bam! That little coin could be worth over $1 million. Talk about turning pocket change into pocket change with an extra 6 zeros. Okay, now that I've got your attention, let's break down why the 2015 no mint mark Lincoln penny is such a big deal. First, some background. The Memorial Lincoln penny, introduced in 1959, features the Lincoln Memorial on the back and has been a staple in American currency for decades. Usually, pennies minted in 2015 came from various mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The mint mark, or lack thereof, tells us where the coin was made. Most 2015 pennies have a P for Philadelphia or a D for Denver. But this particular penny? It has no mint mark at all. Why? Because, in 2015, the Philadelphia Mint temporarily stopped adding the P mint mark to the pennies. This little omission made the 2015 no mint mark penny a rare and highly sought-after error coin. Collectors go crazy for mint mark errors because they're like little surprises from the mint, and in the world of coin collecting, rarity often equals value. It all comes down to scarcity and demand. Only a small batch of these no mint mark pennies were released before the mint corrected the oversight. Since collectors love unique coins with an interesting story behind them, demand shot up. Combine that with the limited supply, and suddenly, these coins are worth over $1 million in the right market conditions. Not every 2015 no-mint mark penny is worth this much. Condition is king in coin collecting. Coins that are in mint or near mint condition, meaning they look almost brand new without scratches, dings, or tarnishing, will command the highest prices. If your penny looks like it's been through a washing machine or the bottom of a well, it's probably not worth the $1 million price tag. Sorry, but that's just how it goes. Here's a little humor to keep us going. I once showed a friend a 2015 no-mint mark penny I found, and he looked at it like it was just a rusty little coin and asked, "Are you sure this thing isn't just a really expensive bottle opener?" I had to remind him, "Buddy, this isn't your average coin, it's basically the Rolls-Royce of pennies." He laughed, but hey, it's true. Now, if you're wondering how to spot one of these pennies and maybe get lucky finding one yourself, here's the quick rundown. Look for the 2015 date on the front with Abraham Lincoln's face. You want to see the Lincoln Memorial. Most importantly, look carefully near the date for a mint mark. If there's no P or D, you might have a 2015 no mint mark penny. Counterfeits and replicas exist, so if you think you have one, get it checked out by a professional coin appraiser or a reputable coin grading service. Remember, in the coin world, certification is everything. Let's take a moment to appreciate how a tiny penny, which most people toss aside without a second thought, can be so valuable. It's kind of like finding a $20 bill in an old coat pocket, except this is on a whole other level. You might be wondering, is the $1 million value realistic? Well, the $1.2 million price tag comes from high-profile sales and auctions where rare examples have changed hands. Market values can fluctuate, but the rarity and collector demand keep this coin near the top in terms of value. The 2015 no-mint mark penny isn't just valuable, it's a piece of mint history. It marks a rare production hiccup that will be remembered by collectors for decades. Before I wrap up, I want to share some tips if you're getting started in coin collecting and hoping to find your own treasure. Always keep an eye out for error coins. Those little quirks and oddities can be gold mines. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe to inspect coins closely. Join coin clubs or online communities to learn from seasoned collectors. And most importantly, don't get discouraged if you don't strike it rich overnight. Collecting is as much about the journey and the stories behind the coins as it is about the value. The 2015 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny is a rare, fascinating coin that can fetch a staggering $1.2 million if you have the right one in great condition. It's a perfect example of how sometimes, the smallest things in life can pack the biggest surprises. Alright, if you enjoyed this deep dive into coin lore and want to keep uncovering more hidden gems and strategies to find coins worth serious money, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the tips, stories, and laughs we have coming your way. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep your eyes peeled, your coins shiny, and who knows? Maybe that next penny you pick up will be your ticket to millionaire status. We're diving into a penny that might just make you do a double take next time you're rummaging through your change jar. We're talking about the 2016 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny coin that's got collectors buzzing, with a jaw-dropping current market value of $1.3 million. Yep, you heard that right. $1.3 million for a penny. Now before you start rating your couch cushions, stick around because I'm going to break down exactly why this seemingly ordinary penny is worth so much, share some insider tips on spotting valuable coins, and tell you a funny personal story about the time I almost threw away a potential treasure. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's jump into the world of coin collecting with a smile. Introduction. Alright, let's kick things off with the obvious question: why on earth would a 2016 penny be worth more than most houses in some neighborhoods? After all, pennies are usually the currency equivalent of those free samples at the grocery store, useful for a moment and then forgotten. Well, the 2016 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny is not your everyday penny. It's a rare variety that collectors hunt for because of a very specific reason: the mint mark. Usually, pennies from 2016 have a mint mark indicating where they were produced, like the letter P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But this one? It has no mint mark at all, making it a unique anomaly. The rarity is what drives the price up to an eye-popping $1.3 million. But don't let that discourage you. There's a story here about how rarity, condition, and a little bit of luck combine to create a collector's goldmine, or in this case, a collector's penny. First, let's talk about what a mint mark is. It's like a signature from the mint that produced the coin. Back in 2016, almost all pennies had one, except for a tiny batch that slipped through the system without one. Think of it as a typo in the coin production process, a happy accident that collectors love. These no-mint mark pennies were never meant to exist in circulation, so the few that made it out are incredibly scarce. And scarcity in coin collecting usually equals value. Now, let me share a quick story that still makes me laugh when I think about it. A few years ago, I was helping my buddy clean out his old desk drawer. We found a bunch of old coins, mostly common ones, but there was this one penny that caught my eye. It looked just like any other Lincoln penny, but something about it made me pull out my loupe. Turns out, it was a no-mint mark 2016 penny. My buddy was about to toss it in the trash, thinking it was just some random change. I stopped him just in time and told him to hold on to it. That one penny, in near-mint condition, could be worth a small fortune. It reminded me then that sometimes, treasures are hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone to notice. Now, you might be wondering how you can spot these coins yourself. First off, you need a good eye and maybe a magnifying glass or loupe. Look carefully at the spot just under the date on the penny. If there is no letter there at all, congratulations, you might have a no-mint mark penny, but remember, condition is king in coin collecting. A shiny, unscratched, and perfectly preserved penny will always be worth more than one that's been tossed around in a pocket for years. Grading the coin's condition is a whole other topic, but for now, just know that the better it looks, the higher the value. If you're serious about collecting coins or even just casually interested, it's a good idea to check out some coin shops or online marketplaces to get familiar with the different mint marks and their values. And don't hesitate to get your coins professionally graded if you think you've got a rare one. The 2016 no-mint mark penny features the familiar Lincoln Memorial design on the back, which is a nod to Honest Abe's long-standing presence on the penny since 1959. While the design itself isn't unique, the missing mint mark definitely makes it stand out. In terms of numbers, only a few dozen of these no-mint mark pennies are known to exist in the world. That's like finding a needle in a haystack made of needles. And that scarcity pushes the market value up to that staggering $1.3 million mark. It's also worth noting that the coin market can be a bit like a roller coaster. Prices go up and down based on demand, condition, and how many collectors are hunting for a particular coin. So if you find one, keep it safe, and be patient. So, if you've been paying attention to your change lately, maybe it's time to give those pennies a second look. You never know, the next $1 million coin might be jingling around in your pocket right now. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2016 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I post regular videos packed with tips on spotting coins worth big money, smart collecting strategies, and stories that will make you smile and maybe even get you rich. Remember, coin collecting isn't just about money. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the stories behind the coins, and yes, the occasional $1 million surprise. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Stay curious, keep those eyes sharp, and as always, happy hunting. Catch you in the next video. Hey there, coin hunters and penny pinchers. Have you ever found a little copper coin in your couch cushions or at the bottom of your kid's piggy bank and thought, could this be worth something? What if I told you that one tiny coin from 1988, yes, just a regular old penny with no mint mark, is currently worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million? I know, sounds like I've been hanging out with a leprechaun or drinking too much coffee, but stick around because today we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1988 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny. This little copper wonder is like the rock star of pennies, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about why it's worth so much, how to spot it, and the wild ride of coin collecting. And hey, if you love uncovering hidden treasures in everyday objects and want the scoop on coins worth big money, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any tips or fun stories. Alright, buckle up, penny pals, because this is going to be a fun ride. The story behind the 1988 no-mint mark penny. First, let's set the stage. The Lincoln Memorial penny has been around since 1959, showing off Abe Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Usually, pennies come with a tiny letter somewhere on the coin to tell you where they were minted, like P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But the 1988 no-mint mark penny is a rare beast because it was struck without that little letter, which should have been there. Why is this a big deal? Because errors like missing mint marks are like a secret handshake in the coin world. They make a coin unique, rare, and very valuable. The 1988 no-mint mark penny is basically the coin equivalent of showing up to a fancy party without the required dress code, except in this case, that mistake makes it $1 million. It's kind of a behind-the-scenes mint mystery. Mint marks are applied to the coin blanks before striking, and sometimes, due to human error or machinery glitches, a batch gets missed. The 1988 penny without a mint mark slipped through quality control, creating a very rare variant. Imagine working in a factory and accidentally missing the P stamp on thousands of coins. You'd probably get fired, but lucky for coin collectors, those pennies became gold mines. Part 3. Why is it worth $1.20 million? So, how does a small copper penny jump from being worth 1 cent to $1.2 million? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and collector demand. The 1988 no-mint mark penny is insanely rare. Experts estimate that only a handful exist, maybe even fewer. In coin collecting, scarcity is king. The fewer the coins, the more people want them. If you have one in mint condition, meaning it looks flawless and shiny like it just came off the press, collectors will literally fight over it. Also, the history and mystery add to the appeal. People love a good story. Plus, coins are a tangible piece of history that you can hold in your hand, way cooler than digital stocks or NFTs, if you ask me. Alright, so maybe you're digging through your old coin stash right now, hoping to find this treasure. Check the front, just under the year 1988, where the mint mark normally sits. For most pennies, you'll see a P for Philadelphia. If there's no letter at all, congratulations, you might be holding something special. Make sure the coin is genuine. There are fakes and replicas out there, so if you think you found one, have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading company. Condition is everything. Even if you have a no-mint mark penny, if it's all scratched up or corroded, it won't fetch millions. But hey, even damaged ones have value, so don't toss it out. My personal coin hunting adventure. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I was visiting my grandma and she handed me a dusty old jar filled with pennies she'd collected over the decades. I started sorting through them, thinking, this will take forever. After a while, I noticed one penny that didn't have a mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. I thought, could this be the one? Turns out, it was just a regular penny, not a rare variant, but that moment got me hooked. From that day, I started learning about coins, errors, and market values. And while I haven't found a $1.2 million penny yet, that thrill of discovery is what keeps me digging through piggy banks and coin jars. Market trends and what to expect. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a potential investment. The market for rare coins like the 1988 no-mint mark penny has been climbing steadily. More people are interested in tangible assets, especially rare ones with compelling stories. If you do find one of these pennies, don't rush to sell it at a garage sale. Get it appraised, graded, and connect with serious collectors or auction houses. A single phone call or email can turn that little penny into a life-changing payday. The incredible story behind the 1988 no-mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with a massive $1.2 million price tag. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who never thought a penny could be worth a fortune, I hope you enjoyed the journey. Remember, treasure is often hiding in the most ordinary places, and sometimes, it just takes a little knowledge and patience to find it. If you want more fun stories, coin collecting tips, and strategies to spot coins worth money, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a surprising coin or if you want me to talk about another rare penny. I love hearing your stories. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep those eyes sharp and those pockets jingling. Hey everyone. So, you know how we all have that one coin jar, or maybe a dusty old drawer where the coins go to retire, right? Well, what if I told you that hidden in that pile of pennies could be a treasure worth over $1 million? Yeah, you heard me right, $1 million in your pocket change. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of the 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny, a coin that's been quietly making some serious waves in the coin collecting world, with a jaw-dropping current market value of about $1.3 million. Stick around, because I'm going to break down what makes this penny so special, how to spot one, and I'll even share a little story about the time I almost tossed out a few coins that could have made me rich. Spoiler alert, I'm still kicking myself. So grab your magnifying glass, maybe a cup of coffee, and let's get hunting for some hidden treasure. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny is not your everyday penny. If you've ever glanced at a Lincoln cent, you know the front has Honest Abe himself, right? On the back, starting in 1959, we got the Lincoln Memorial design, which was a big deal at the time. In 1989, the U.S. Mint produced pennies in Philadelphia and Denver. Usually, the Denver coins get a D mint mark, and Philadelphia coins typically have no mint mark at all. But the 1989 no mint mark penny isn't just any Philadelphia penny. It's a rare variety that slipped through the cracks and has become insanely valuable. What makes this coin worth a staggering $1.3 million? Well, it comes down to errors, rarity, and collector demand. There are a few varieties of 1989 pennies, but the one without a mint mark and with certain errors, especially the double die and misprints, have driven collectors wild. When you have a rare error coin with high demand and low supply, prices skyrocket. Now, before you go tearing apart your coin jars looking for this penny, let's talk about how to identify it. The 1989 no-mint mark penny has subtle differences from the standard penny you might be used to. The lettering might be doubled or thicker in spots. The Lincoln Memorial might have extra lines or imperfections. It's a bit like a treasure map. You need to know what to look for or you'll just see an ordinary penny. I remember a few years back, my uncle, who was always the coin guy in the family, challenged me to check a big box of old coins he found in the attic. I was about as excited as a cat in a swimming pool. But hey, a promise is a promise, so I started sorting. Most were your standard pennies, nickels, and dimes, but then, boom, I found this weird-looking penny that had a strange shine and some doubled letters on it. I immediately texted my uncle, thinking I'd hit the jackpot. Turns out, it wasn't the 1989 no-mint mark penny, but it was a neat little error coin worth about $20. I was over the moon for a day until my uncle reminded me that the real treasure might still be hiding in the box. That moment taught me two things: always check your coins carefully, and never underestimate the power of a little knowledge. This penny doesn't just hold value because of rarity, but it also tells a story of a small minting mistake that transformed a humble coin into a millionaire's prize. Collectors love stories, and the 1989 no-mint mark penny has one heck of a backstory. Now, I want to give you a little tip for searching for this coin. If you're going to dive into coin jars, look specifically for pennies dated 1989 without a mint mark. Then, inspect closely for any doubling on the date or the lettering. Use a magnifying glass or even better, a jeweler's loupe if you have one. And don't forget to check the condition. The cleaner and more pristine the penny, the higher the value. I also recommend checking online marketplaces, coin forums, and auction houses to get a feel for current prices. The $1.3 million value might seem crazy, but it's based on recent sales of rare examples in mint condition. So it's not just hype. In fact, this coin has become so popular that some collectors are going full detective mode, searching estate sales, flea markets, and even their own old collections. You might just be sitting on a goldmine and not even know it. The 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny is a fascinating example of how even the smallest things can turn into something incredibly valuable. From humble pocket change to million-dollar treasure, this coin shows us all that sometimes, luck and attention to detail pay off big time. If you're itching to start your own treasure hunt, my advice is simple: don't just toss your pennies in a jar. Take a moment to look, learn a little about the coins in your pocket, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find that one rare coin that changes everything. And hey, if you enjoyed hanging out and learning about coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more tips, stories, and strategies on how to spot coins that could make you rich. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, keep hunting those coins, and remember, every penny has a story, but some have a fortune hiding right beneath their surface. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever stumbled across a penny and thought, hey, could this tiny copper disc be worth a fortune? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into one of the most surprisingly valuable coins out there, the 1979 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, some of these little guys are fetching up to $1.4 million on the market. Yep, you heard that right. $1.4 million. For a penny. Now before you rush to dig through your couch cushions, let's talk about what makes this penny so special and how you might spot one that could be your ticket to the big leagues of coin collecting. Along the way, I'll share a little story about how I almost threw away a coin that could have made me richer than I ever imagined. Spoiler alert, I didn't, but the close call taught me a lot about paying attention and knowing your coins. So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's crack open the fascinating world of the 1979 D Memorial Lincoln penny, the penny that's not just pocket change. First off, why is a penny from 1979 with a D Mint mark even worth millions? That sounds like a plot twist from a movie where the janitor finds hidden treasure in the trash. Well, the story behind it is both intriguing and a little bit technical, but don't worry, I'll keep it fun. The Lincoln penny is one of the most widely recognized coins in the U.S., minted every year since 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The D Mint mark indicates it was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the official U.S. mints. Now, normally, these pennies are worth their face value, but every once in a while, minting errors, rarity, and collector demand turn a humble penny into a golden ticket. The 1979 D Memorial Lincoln penny is particularly interesting because of certain varieties and errors associated with that year. Some coins were struck with unique characteristics, such as double dies or slight design misalignments, making them rare collector's items. And collectors? They are willing to pay big bucks for these rare finds. The nitty-gritty and how to spot your million-dollar penny. Alright, let's get into the meat of it. What should you look for in a 1979 D penny that might make it worth a whopping $1.4 million? The D Mint mark is your first clue. It's a tiny letter on the coin's obverse side, just below the date. But it's not just having a D mark, it's the condition that matters big time. If your penny looks like it's been through a rock tumbler, it's probably not worth much. But if it's sharp, shiny, and shows no signs of wear, you might have something special. One of the most sought-after features is something called the double die error. Imagine if during the coin stamping process, the coin's design was stamped twice, slightly offset. This creates a shadow or doubling effect on letters and numbers. For the 1979 D penny, certain double die versions show this doubling on the date and lettering, and those coins can be insanely valuable. Proof coins are special high-quality coins made for collectors and are often struck multiple times to ensure sharp details. If you have a 1979 D penny in proof condition with the double die error, your coin could be worth millions. Uncirculated coins, ones that have never been in regular use, also command a premium if they have these errors. Coin values aren't just about errors and condition. The market plays a big role. Over the years, as more people discover and hunt for these pennies, demand rises, and prices soar. The $1.4 million figure represents a peak in collector interest and rarity combined. The Great Penny Panic of 2018. Let me tell you a quick story to illustrate how easy it is to overlook something valuable. A few years ago, I was helping my dad clean out his old coin collection. He's had a lifelong hobby of collecting coins but is pretty casual about it. No cataloging, no grading, just a big box of coins he'd occasionally sort through. One afternoon, as I was sifting through this box, I found a penny that looked a bit odd. The date was 1979, and it had a D Mint mark. At first, I thought, well, it's a penny, big deal. But then I noticed the date and the lettering looked doubled. I did a quick search on my phone and my jaw dropped. This could be a double-die penny. I got my dad all excited, and we took it to a coin shop. The shop owner's eyes lit up like he'd just found gold. After grading the coin, it turned out to be in near-mint condition and was exactly the kind of penny collectors drool over. While ours wasn't the $1 million version, it was worth a few $100, which was still a nice surprise. That experience taught me that every coin, no matter how small or common it seems, deserves a second look. There could be treasure hiding in plain sight in your own coin jar or wallet. Your penny could be a fortune, so what's the takeaway here? If you come across a 1979 D Lincoln penny, don't just toss it in the tip jar or use it for parking meters. Check it out closely. Look for the double die effect, assess its condition, and if it looks promising, get it professionally graded. You might just have $1 million coin sitting in your pocket without even knowing it, and hey, even if it's not worth a fortune, the joy of collecting and discovering rare coins is priceless. Plus, now you have a killer story to tell at your next barbecue. Before you go digging through your change, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more insider tips, crazy coin stories, and strategies to spot coins worth money. Don't miss out on turning your pocket change into serious cash. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep your eyes peeled and your pockets jingling. Who knows what treasure you might find next? Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Have you ever held a tiny piece of metal in your hand and thought, what if this little penny could buy me a brand new car? Well, today, I'm about to blow your mind with a coin that's worth more than just pocket change, way more. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1968 D Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that's currently valued at a whopping $1.5 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1.5 million, so buckle up, because in the next 50 minutes, you're going to get the full scoop, the history behind this penny, why it's so rare and valuable, how to spot one, and some insider tips that might just help you find your own treasure lurking in your couch cushions or old jars. Plus, I'll throw in a funny personal story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin and lived to tell the tale. Pennies don't usually make you rich. Most people toss them in jars or use them as doorstops. But every once in a while, there's a penny so special, so rare, it becomes a goldmine, metaphorically speaking, because it's not gold, it's copper. The 1968 D Lincoln penny isn't just any penny. Minted in Denver, that's what the D stands for. It commemorates the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, a design that most of us grew up seeing on pennies. But this particular coin, under very specific circumstances, has become one of the most sought-after and valuable coins for collectors and investors alike. Let's rewind a bit. The Lincoln Memorial design was first introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the wheat penny design that had been in circulation for decades. The 1968 pennies continued this design with the familiar D mint mark indicating they were minted in Denver. So what makes the 1968 D penny so valuable? It boils down to rarity and condition. In general, millions of 1968 pennies were minted, but among these, only a tiny fraction have the perfect qualities collectors crave. We're talking flawless condition, uncirculated coins, and sometimes even rare error variations that can send their value skyrocketing. The current market value for a top-grade 1968 D penny is about $1.5 million. That's not a typo. What drives this astronomical value is a combination of scarcity in pristine condition and the passionate collector market willing to pay top dollar for such a gem. If you're hunting for a 1968 D penny that might be worth a fortune, here's what you need to check. Make sure the D is crisp and clear. The mint mark tells you this is from the Denver Mint. The higher the grade, the better. Coins with no scratches, wear, or discoloration are the holy grail. Some rare penny errors, like double dies or off-center strikes, can dramatically increase value. Coins still in original mint packaging can sometimes fetch higher prices. Don't expect to find $1 million penny in your pocket change, but never underestimate the possibility. That's what makes coin collecting thrilling. Now here's where things get interesting. I remember years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her old coin jar. She was tossing what she thought were just ordinary pennies into a pile to take to the bank. I casually grabbed a 1968 penny and jokingly said, "Hey, maybe this little guy is worth $1 million." We laughed it off, and I slipped it into my pocket without much thought. Fast forward a few months when I was watching a coin appraisal show and realized the exact coin I had could be worth upwards of $1 million if it was in pristine condition. Panicking, I rushed back to Grandma's place, searched every jar, every drawer, and even the couch cushions. Spoiler alert, the penny was just fine in my collection, but it taught me a valuable lesson: never underestimate the value of the small stuff. Market trends and investment tips: coins like the 1968 penny have surged in value due to collector demand, inflation, and the fact that precious metals and collectibles often hedge against economic uncertainty. If you're considering investing, here's a quick tip: always buy coins graded by reputable services like PCGS or NGC to ensure authenticity and condition. Also, store them properly. Humidity, heat, and careless handling can ruin their value. Lastly, keep an eye on auction results and market trends to know when to buy or sell. So there you have it, folks. The 1968 Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny might look like an ordinary coin at first glance, but it holds the potential to be worth a fortune. Whether you're a casual collector, a seasoned investor, or just a curious guy who likes cool stories about hidden treasures, this penny is a fascinating piece of history and a shining example of why coins are worth more than just face value. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more insider tips on coins worth serious money, coin collecting strategies, and how to spot hidden gems, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Who knows, your next coin haul could be your golden ticket. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep your eyes peeled, your hands steady, and happy hunting out there. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Ever held what looks like a humble penny in your hand and thought, hey, this could be worth more than a cup of coffee? Well, today I'm about to blow your mind with a penny that's not just any penny, the 1984 No Mint Mark Memorial Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a whopping $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1.6 million. If you thought pennies were just pocket fillers or lucky toss-ins at a fountain, stick around, because this coin might just change the way you look at those little copper discs forever. Plus, I've got a hilarious story about how I once almost tossed a coin worth thousands, and you'll want to hear that before you start digging through your couch cushions. So, buckle up, grab a snack, and let's dive deep into the story, the value, and the secrets behind the 1984 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1984 Lincoln penny is part of the Memorial series, which features the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most pennies from that year have a mint mark, a little letter near Lincoln's portrait that shows where the coin was made, like P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But the no mint mark pennies? Those are from Philadelphia, the oldest U.S. mint, and typically, they had the P mark after 1980. So, a no mint mark penny from 1984 is kind of like a unicorn. It's rare and unusual because Philadelphia was supposed to put a P on their coins by then. This minting anomaly makes the 1984 no mint mark penny a highly sought-after collector's gem. The fewer coins out there, the more valuable they become. And with a market value hitting $1.6 million, well, let's just say you might want to check your piggy bank twice. Why is this penny worth so much? It boils down to rarity and condition. In the coin collecting world, rarity is king. If only a handful of these pennies exist without that mint mark, collectors will go crazy trying to get their hands on one. Add to that a coin in excellent condition, like the ones that haven't been tossed in the washing machine or trampled underfoot, and you're looking at a collector's dream. Plus, Lincoln pennies are iconic. They've been around since 1909 and carry a lot of historical and sentimental value. This particular penny combines history with rarity, creating a perfect storm of value. Let's talk design for a minute because it's pretty cool. On the front, you have the classic Lincoln portrait, created by Victor David Brenner. This design has been in use since 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Flip it over, and there's the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The 1984 coin is one of the later coins with this design, before the series changed in 2009 for the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth. So this penny isn't just money, it's a little piece of American history that's been in people's pockets for decades. Now, for the part you've been waiting for, a true story that happened to me. And I promise you it's a classic cautionary tale for coin collectors. A few years ago, I was at my parents' house helping clean up the living room. While digging between the couch cushions, I found an old Lincoln penny. I was about to toss it into my pocket change jar when my dad, who's a bit of a coin buff himself, stopped me. He said, "Wait a minute, that looks like it might be a 1984 no mint mark penny." I laughed, thinking he was joking. Come on, how could a worthless penny be worth anything? But we looked it up, and guess what? That penny, in almost perfect condition, was worth thousands, not millions, but still enough to buy a weekend getaway. I still kick myself for not realizing sooner because I almost threw away a small fortune. Moral of the story: always check your coins before discarding them. Check the front of the penny near Lincoln's portrait. There should be no letter P or D mint mark. If you see a letter, it's a standard penny. The year 1984 should be clearly visible. The coin should ideally be in very good condition with minimal wear. The sharper the details, the better. Sometimes, the no mint mark coins can be misidentified if they have post-mint damage, so get a second opinion from a coin expert or appraiser. So, what's the market like for these pennies? Well, a coin valued at $1.6 million isn't something you'll see changing hands at your local flea market. Most sales happen through auctions and private sales among serious collectors. The price fluctuates based on condition, provenance, and buyer interest. But over the past decade, the trend has been upward as collectors hunt for rarer coins to add to their collections. For everyday folks like you and me, it's a reminder to keep an eye on your change. You never know when you might be sitting on a goldmine. If you find a no mint mark penny or any rare coin, here are some tips. Don't clean it with harsh chemicals or scrub it. Cleaning can reduce value. Store coins in a dry, temperature-controlled place to avoid damage. Consider having the coin professionally graded and authenticated. Get to know the market so you understand when it's a good time to sell or hold. Coin collecting isn't just about money. It's about history, stories, and that thrill of the hunt. Whether you find a rare penny in your pocket or discover a whole collection in the attic, it's a hobby that connects you to the past. Alright, my friends, now that you know the incredible story behind the 1984 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny and its jaw-dropping $1.6 million value, here's the takeaway: never underestimate the power of a penny. That little coin jingling in your pocket could be worth a fortune, and all it takes is a bit of knowledge, patience, and a keen eye. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that subscribe button because I'm bringing you more tips, tricks, and stories on coins worth money and savvy collecting strategies. And hey, share this video with your friends who think pennies are just for parking meters. They might thank you when they find their own treasure. Where we turn your dusty coin jars into potential treasure chests. Today, we're diving into a penny. Yep, a penny that could make you feel like you just hit the jackpot. We're talking about the 2016 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. Sounds ordinary, right? Like the kind of penny you find under your couch or in your car's cup holder. But hold up. This little copper disc could be worth a staggering $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard me right, $1.7 million for a penny. So stick around because I'm going to tell you how that's even possible, what makes this coin so special, and share a little story about how I almost threw away a fortune without even knowing it. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Alright, first off, let's talk basics. The 2016 Memorial Lincoln penny is one of those coins minted by the U.S. Mint, featuring the classic profile of good old Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. You've probably got a handful of these lying around, mixed in with your pocket change. So, why in the world would a 2016 penny be worth over $1 million? Here's the deal. It's all about a rare error known as the no mint mark variety. Usually, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but for some reason, the 2016 no mint mark penny has a strange twist. it's super rare and there are only a few known specimens that collectors are drooling over. Think of it like finding a golden ticket in a chocolate bar. Most bars just have chocolate, but one lucky bar has that golden ticket, and suddenly, it's worth a fortune. Here's where it gets fun. The reason it's so rare is because in 2016, the Philadelphia Mint switched to adding a P mint mark on pennies for the first time since the 80s. So technically, there should be no pennies without a mint mark from that year, except a tiny handful slipped through the cracks. That rarity makes it insanely valuable to collectors. You might be wondering how anyone even spots something like that. I mean, it's a penny. They look all the same, right? Well, that's the thrill of coin collecting. You get to play detective, spotting subtle differences that make a huge difference in value. And here's a quick story from my own life. A couple of years ago, I was helping my buddy clean out his garage. He's not really into coins, more into fishing and grilling, but he'd saved all his change from the past few years in this old coffee can. We dumped it out and started sorting through, joking about finding anything valuable. We found the usual suspects, a few silver dimes, a couple of wheat pennies from the 40s, but then I spotted a 2016 penny that didn't have a mint mark. That I almost said, "Hey, cool, no mint mark penny." Then I thought, nah, it's just a regular penny, right? But I decided to look it up anyway, and boom. That penny alone could have been worth over $1 million. My buddy almost threw it away with the rest of the trash that day. It was a close call. That moment reminded me how important it is to check every coin carefully, because you never know when you might be holding a tiny fortune. Now, if you want to get into coins like this, here are some tips to keep your eyes sharp and your collection growing. Always check for mint marks. The absence or presence of that little letter can change the value drastically. Look for errors or unusual details. Sometimes a small mistake during minting turns a coin into a rarity. Keep your coins in good condition. Scratched or dirty pennies won't fetch nearly as much. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe. Your eyes can't catch everything, but tools help. Join coin forums or local clubs. You'll learn from other collectors and find out what to watch for. By following these tips, you could stumble upon the next $1 million coin without even knowing it. And that's the magic of coin collecting. Not all rare coins are worth a fortune. Some might be rare but not valuable, and some valuable coins can be common but in perfect condition. It's a game of knowledge and patience. Speaking of knowledge, the market for this 2016 no mint mark penny has been heating up. Recent sales at auctions and private sales show collectors are willing to pay top dollar for verified specimens. Prices keep climbing as awareness grows, making now a fantastic time to check your stash. Alright, friends, let's wrap this up. The 2016 no mint mark Memorial Lincoln penny coin is a perfect example of how something seemingly ordinary can be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who sometimes finds coins in your couch cushions, there's always a chance that you're holding a treasure. If there's one takeaway from today's video, it's this: never underestimate the power of a penny, especially one with a secret story. Before you go, if you want to keep learning about coins worth serious money, how to spot rare finds, and the funniest and most surprising stories from the coin world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next. And hey, if you have any cool coin stories, like the time you almost threw away a fortune, drop them in the comments below. I love reading your stories and sometimes sharing them on the channel. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep those eyes sharp and your pockets jingling.